you figured it out yet? Because it is quite confusing. And here I'm going to show you what the range shows after, I've driven this a little over 1,000 miles so far. But here we are after a full charge. It's showing 130 miles, okay? Now, I know they do not advertise 130 miles as the range on this vehicle because the battery is actually quite small. But what happens with this car, when you turn on the heater or the HVAC, the defroster, etc. Let's go ahead and do that. And pardon the noise for a second. Look what happens, okay? The range drops to 93. All right, so there you are. It's either 130 miles or a little over 90. Let's get going. Now, I did look for other vehicles. What I found about the IONIQ is because it's a little off the beaten track and not many people are buying them, and because the range is not the new generation, 140 to 150 mile range, you can get better deals on this. So I tried to strike a deal on the Nissan Leaf, and I got to tell you that Nissan is no longer cutting deals. Of course, I always lease my EV. The down payment comes back to you from the state of California. So this will be a no money out lease, and out the door I'm at $299 a month. So the same deal I got on this would have been probably $100 a month more and another $1,000 out the door at Nissan. The first thing I noticed about this car was how low to the ground it is, and I believe that this is a ground-up design to maximize efficiency. And from what I've read, it is one of the most, if not the most efficient vehicles on the road. It's fairly light, low to the ground, aerodynamic, and for that reason it can maintain a very small battery but still get range that is on par with other vehicles. You know, for the sports car feel, let's go ahead and floor it. You can get a feel for, you know, it is a speedy little vehicle. We're up to 60 in no time at all. So not much road noise, right? But the car is very low to the ground, and you're gonna feel the bumps. And I think you will find that it is quite the bumpy little car. You know, the suspension is just right on the ground. You're like you're rolling on tracks here almost. And if you thought that the rear view out of the Toyota Prius was poor, well, you ought to get a look at this. They have split the rear view, the rear panel, so that you're basically looking between the bar and the top section. Now, right now the car has been cleaned, and you can see out of it, although it's a little like looking out of a submarine. Highly impaired rear vision. However, the real fatal flaw here is when there's dew and rain and fog on the rear view. It renders a great portion of that rear view completely non-transparent. I thought I would take you guys up into this mountain range up here, get somewhere nice and high to get some beautiful pictures of the car. So let's go ahead and go to the top of the mountain, okay? See you back in a second. All right, and as we drive up to the mountains here, you'll get a full feel for the car. It is very peppy. It is very quick to respond. I'd say it's the closest thing to a sports car I've driven in an EV, although I haven't driven the Tesla Model S. We're going to get up this mountain. So about the car, well, the other thing that's really nice about the IONIQ is that it comes very, very well equipped. So there's only one thing that I actually miss from my top-of-the-line Kia Soul EV, and that is the heated steering wheel. For some reason, they put everything in this car, from Bluetooth to backup cameras and heated seats. but they omitted the heated steering wheel, and I really miss it. The other thing that they've put in here is Apple CarPlay, so you really don't need navigation. You just plug your Verizon or your phone, your map system into your dashboard, and it will pop up right on the screen. You'll see messages and stuff. You can't play a video, unfortunately, but yeah, you'll get your map directions right off your phone, right up to your screen, and that's far better than any navigation I've ever bought, because they always go out of date pretty fast. So here we are on a little mountain road. We're going to take her about as fast as we can. We got a Prius ahead of us, and I'm betting he's slower than me. But like I was saying, on the features, you know, the sound system is fine. We've got the backup camera, the Bluetooth, you know, full automation, 3 driving modes, adjustable steering wheel. Okay, we're going up this mountain further. I'll be back when we're up at a pretty spot. Alright, so we're headed back, and so the upshot is I'm very happy I bought this quirky little car. A, because financially it fit my picture very well, and B, because it is totally functional and useful, and the range is completely adequate. After that trip up to the mountains, there we go, 113 miles remaining, so that's completely fine for a city commuter car. Yeah, am I happy I bought it? Absolutely. I'm really glad I got the HOV stickers, and the rebate is coming, and glad to be locked in for the next, you know, for the next 3 years into an affordable car that, you know, if the equivalent of the last car was 100 miles per gallon, I do believe that this is going to be superior, because I think the engineering is superior. So I imagine this will save me some money on electricity as well, as if driving an EV wasn't already like the cheapest thing that you've ever experienced. I mean, I tell my friends that, you know, driving my car is virtually free. I mean, I don't even notice the cost of the electricity. All right, but here we are, headed home, and yeah, I know there are some new models coming out. Kia's got a new model coming out, and you know, there's the Bolt, and some other things you can check out. But when you look at the value, take a good look at the IONIQ, because I do think there is tremendous value here in this package, as EVs become mainstream, completely mainstream now. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Let me know what you're buying, what kind of EVs on your shopping list. Bye, guys. I thought you might enjoy seeing a comparison between the Kia Soul EV and the new IONIQ. I will miss that big square hatchback. But this is not a small car. It is not a terribly small car. It's bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. It's got a very sloping back. Of course, in the front, there's a good 3 inches of headroom for me, and I'm 6 feet. But you can see the Kia Soul certainly is much taller in profile. I believe it's a little wider. Oh, there's a good view. So there they are side by side. And there we go. We have we've got the boot cover. And it goes back and forth. That was already installed. So, and these seats do fold down as well. But you can fit you can fit a 14-year-old kid back here. Oh, and the final quirky thing. This will drive you crazy, I imagine, unless you've got your home charging station completely set up. But of course, the logical place to plug in an EV is the front of the car, because often you'll be in a scenario like this. This is a rental house for me, so I can't really get it all fixed up the way I want it. And that works just fine. But try to reach that to where they have put the charging port on the IONIQ. Yes, way back here. Way back here. I'm not sure if they were trying to save money on a design element or trying to protect the weird futuristic looking front. There's that nice piece of plastic in the front. Perhaps they didn't want to ruin that with a hatch. But very inefficient to have the charging port way back there. And then they've got equally goofy is this plastic thing you pull out like a stopper. I feel like I'm taking a bath, and it gets water on it and stuff, as opposed to the Kia's flip top. Right, this one here just flips open, flips closed, just like the Nissan Leaf. Very, very efficient and easy to do, even with one hand. So anyway, you might have to back this one into your garage if you're not set up properly, like me. Okay, guys, that's the end of the quirky things.